What's up, YouTube? It's your boy AJ, the Black World Traveler, man. I'm here doing my first edition of Traveling for Dummies. Not saying that you're a dummy. It's just basically it's a figure of speech because most people travel out of the country, especially in the U.S. A lot of us travel with this mentality that I'm American and, you know, basically things are catered to us, and I'm here to tell you that things aren't. And so this is my video for people who are new travelers, or people who are travelers from the U.S. who really don't get it. If you are a world traveler, you would know that a lot of rules, that are in other places, that are a lot of laws that are here are not in other countries, and you need to know that. So this is the reason why I'm doing this video. So let's get right to it, man. So for the number one, for the Traveling for Dummies, man, whatever you do when you travel out of the country, the first thing you do, especially if you plan on staying there for a while, even if you plan on staying there for a little time, get history on the country. Learn the laws. Know what the laws or the do's and don'ts of the laws. Basically, everything you do here, like smoke weed or drink, anything like that, I will cut all that out. If you know you can't go without having marijuana or crack or whatever you take, pills or whatever, I wouldn't go overseas. If you're going to travel abroad, you at least want to make sure that you protect yourself at all times, because when you go to these other countries, man, the laws are different. Like, I wouldn't do, if I was a person that, smoked weed or, well, smoke weed, I mean, I don't know if it's weed smoker, but say if you're a person that takes, hard drugs like heroin or crack or whatever, I wouldn't go to some of these countries because some of the laws are really, really hard. The U.S. has the most lenient law when it comes to drug use and drug possession and, drug addiction and, selling drugs. We have a different law. We're a lot more lenient than most countries. So whenever you travel to a country, always make sure that you, learn the laws of the land. Also, make sure you understand what's illegal and what's legal. And like I say, you'll see what's going on, with Brittany and all these other people. There's one guy from the U.S. He's fighting for his life in Indonesia because he basically brought marijuana to the country. They're trying to give him the death penalty. I went to Indonesia in 2000, and when you walk into the immigration, the first thing you see on the sign in immigration is that drug traffickers are sentenced to death. So drug trafficking is considered if you're bringing something through your luggage, especially if you didn't declare it, because when you go into a foreign country, the first thing they're going to have you do before you get off the plane or when you're landing, there's always a declaration page or declaration form they give you. They ask you have a certain amount of money you're carrying. They ask you, you have anything flammable? Even when you come in the customs, you're going through security. They ask you, do you have anything flammable? Anything, inside of your luggage? And you say no. You get caught with something. Some countries are not going to give you a break. This is how it is, man. We live in the United States. We can get away with a lot of stuff where other places can't, because you're dealing with, a lot more harder laws. And a lot of times, man, it's just, that's what happens. Another thing you need to know about, you need to understand the politics, research the politics, know what's going on in that country before you go. I just came from Panama, and they were protesting about the fuel prices, to the employment, wages, the cost of food. They were basically protesting. My first week there, I was going to the mall. It was like a 5-minute ride. It took us 30 minutes to get to the mall because basically the citizens blocked the street off. You couldn't go through the street. They had the whole street blocked off. This guy was waving this black flag, and he made all the traffic turn around. The people abide by it in Panama because they're all for the people, standing up for the country. So there was no turmoil or anything. The people just followed suit and turned their cars around. But this is what happens when you go to a foreign country, man. They got their own lives, man. They're living their way. What you do at home don't matter at all what goes on at home when you're there. When you're in their country, it's their laws and their rules. You got to abide by their rules at all times. So don't be a dummy and get out there and get caught up in the system. I've been traveling for 32 years abroad. I started traveling at 18. I'm 50 now. I'll be 51 this year. And I've seen some people get, toe off, from committing crimes that they could do here that they just don't tolerate back home. We had 2 guys on my ship that were robbing taxi cabs with a fake gun. And then one guy got caught, and he told that the other guy was with him. They both went to a Japanese prison when I was in Japan. And they told the military, if you don't feed them, they don't eat. So the ship had to take them food every day to feed them, because the Japanese jails wouldn't feed them, because they don't feed criminals. They give you a piece of bread and a cup of water a day. That's all they give you. And on top of that, when our ship left, they had to set up meals with the base, just take meals over to them. So yeah, the military can only do so much. So if you go in the military, yeah, you might have a chance to get some kind of support, but they can't guarantee you anything when you go to a country and commit a crime. So always understand, don't get caught in the country doing what you do at home, because you might not make it back. If you go to Indonesia, like I've been to Indonesia. Like I say, trafficking drugs, using drugs, anything like that, dude, they give you the death penalty. They don't really play with that stuff when you get caught with it. I don't know what happens if you get caught using it, but if you get caught trying to bring it into the country, they'll give you the death penalty. They go by the Muslim law. They just a no tolerance level. A lot of those countries in Southeast Asia, and Asia as a whole, but especially Southeast Asia, they're really, really hard on drug trafficking. They're bringing stuff in the country. And another thing, when you travel, man, for the dummies, always learn the culture and respect the culture. Learn the people. I mean, me personally, when I travel, I usually stay in the area where the people live. I'll stay in the community, so I'll get an Airbnb in the city and live amongst the people, so I can know what it is to live amongst the people. I like doing that because I like to learn. I like to be around the people. So if they wear sandals, I wear sandals. It's just so you can get a taste of the culture. But if people realize that you're respecting the culture, they would treat you different. Subscribe, like, share, and follow. It's your boy, AJ, the Black World Traveler. I'm out.